Once again, for the 4th or 5th year in a row, we have reports that Real Madrid is finally signing Kylian Mbappe. One of the most dramatic transfer sagas in history is close to its end, following Mbappe's announcement to depart from PSG this summer.
Kylian Mbappe has just informed Paris Saint-Germain that he will leave the club as free agent at the end of the season.
Yes, he hasn't revealed his future club yet, but even a little kid knows that his dream is to wear the white shirt of Real Madrid, and barring a last-minute twist, Kylian Mbappe would truly become a player of the most titled club in history. Even La Liga's president Javier Tebas admitted in a report that he has a feeling that Real Madrid has already signed with Kylian Mbappe. Ever since the Frenchman revealed his decision in early February, fans have been asking themselves a lot of questions, some of which are what will happen to Barcelona from now on, and will this be the last nail in Barca's coffin? Well, these are the questions we're asking as well, and we'll try to explain to you today why Barcelona shouldn't be worried at all with Real Madrid's new addition. Let's get into it. Now everyone knows, wherever Real Madrid is, Barcelona is somewhere nearby. If we talk about the last 25 to 30 years, ever since Johan Cruyff became the team's coach and Barcelona had its first glory years, the two Spanish giants have always been close in terms of legacy, iconic players and even trophies. So yes, Kylian Mbappe on paper would be a massive acquisition for the Real Madrid team, but fans shouldn't jump to conclusions because Barca and Madrid always go hand in hand, and it's hard to imagine a long period in which one team wins title after title and the other just accepts the losses. And that's why it's no coincidence that El Clasico is arguably the greatest rivalry in history, because it always inspires competitiveness. Let's head to a very fundamental and important topic for world football: transfer fees. Of course, if Mbappe indeed moves to Real Madrid, Los Blancos would pull out one of the biggest signs ever. Just imagine getting the current best player in the world for free, with him being 25 years old and yet to reach his prime. This is actually insane just to think about. Yeah, you probably think of Messi signing for PSG also as a free agent, but Leo was 34 at the time, so this is a little different. So yeah, we come to the conclusion that Florentino Perez, Real Madrid's president, will pay much less than he would have spent if Mbappe was not a free agent. But let's look at what Barcelona offers on the other side. Basically, if Barcelona's 2023-24 season has to be described in one word, it would surely be youngsters. And this is actually Barca's counterpoint to Los Galacticos 2.0. Yes, Real Madrid will have proven superstars like Bellingham, Vinicius, Rodrigo, Modric, Kroos and Mbappe in their squad. And by also adding the promising talents Arda Güler and Endrick to the equation, the future definitely looks bright for Madrid. However, this is of course not a sure formula for success, and we'll see why in a bit. Before that though, we remind you to subscribe to the Blue Card channel and hit the notification button so you do not miss any of our future videos. Returning to Barcelona's main weapon, it certainly lies in the youngsters. This season only, Barca gave a debut to 5 new under-21 boys, and those players could even be 6 if you want. Given the fact that Lamine Yamal technically made his debut last season, but has been a main figure since the beginning of this one. And not to forget also that apart from the 16-year-old winger, another very young boy is playing consistently for the first team. The 17-year-old centre-back Pau Cubarsí. Things are looking great for him, as he is currently the favourite to even be a starter for Barca in the second leg of the Champions League round of 16 against Napoli. And addressing the topics of transfer fees and youngsters, let's head into another direction that proves the point that Real Madrid wouldn't have a big advantage ahead of Barca, even with Mbappe in the squad. When a club spends 60, 70 or even 100 million euros on a player, the fans of that team get hyped immediately, because in football, money reflects value. Well, in Barcelona, most often this value is not bought, but built internally. The club develops its talents in the academy and then determines if they are capable enough to build a career in the team. If they aren't good enough, they are sold. So the club ultimately wins in both scenarios. And it's safe to say that Barcelona's famous La Masia Academy is currently at its peak, producing dozens of talents annually that would have cost the club hundreds of millions if they were bought. Just imagine how President Joan Laporta had to pay if he wanted to have players like Xavi, Alejandro Balde, Ronald Araujo and Lamine Yamal from other European clubs. Probably not less than 250 million euros, considering their age and the potential they offer in the next 10 years. And since Lamine Yamal is the biggest name on the list and the one with the highest potential Barca has produced since Messi, let's take him as an example. At the start of this season, Lamine Yamal was worth 20 million euros. Now, according to the popular sports statistic website, Transfer Market, he has increased his price 3 times, currently worth 60 million. Furthermore, he's also currently the player with the highest price in history when talking about a 16-year-old. Apart from the youngsters in the team, Barca also has some senior players who could guide the young guns and make them even better. Players like Gundogan, Cancelo and Lewandowski are proven champions and all have the experience in the world to make a hybrid with the young players and succeed together. But for that to happen, Barcelona need to focus on finding a new coach, following Xavi's announcement that he will leave at the end of the season. At the moment, the names being mentioned are Thomas Tuchel and Hansi Flick, with the latter being a more realistic option as he's been unemployed for about a year, while the former Chelsea boss still leads Bayern Munich. In fact, appointing the wrong man to replace Xavi and not buying a quality defensive midfielder in the summer would harm Barca more than Mbappe coming to Madrid. Trust me. Now then, let's discuss another reason why Barcelona should not be concerned with Real Madrid signing the French forward. As mentioned before, the presence of many star players in one team is not always a 100% formula for success. You want examples? PSG. Just a year ago, the French team had Mbappe, Messi, Neymar, Ramos and Verratti in their lineup. But the French team were knocked out twice in a row in the Champions League round of 16. Well, just 12 months on from that elimination by Bayern Munich in March 2023, none of these players will be part of PSG anytime soon. Want another example? No problem at all. About 20 years ago, it was Real Madrid that tried to bring some of the biggest superstars in world football, but for 12 seasons, between 2002 and 2014, failed to win the Champions League. And all that with names like Ronaldo, Zidane, Raul, Beckham, Roberto Carlos, Casillas and Luis Figo in its lineup. Furthermore, with the Frenchman's transfer to the Santiago Bernabeu, he will likely be forced to play as a striker. And that, by the way, is a position Mbappe does not like at all. Realistically speaking, do you remember a period when he played as a striker and had success in that position? Let's run the years back. In Monaco, most of the time he partnered with Falcao, and the two created a formidable attacking duo, reaching the Champions League semi-finals in 2017. Then, when he switched to PSG, Mbappe immediately started playing on the right wing, alongside Neymar on the left and Edinson Cavani at the top. And the things in attack for PSG ran that way until around 2020, when Di Maria started getting more playing chances instead of Cavani. However, in that formation, Neymar was featured more often in the central role than Mbappe, and that, by the way, was exactly how PSG started the 2020 Champions League final against Bayern Munich, with Mbappe on the left. Then, in the 2 seasons after Messi's arrival, Mbappe truly had games as a striker, but not consistently. There were even matches in which Messi or Neymar started at the top of the attack, simply due to the opponent's formation. However, this whole period can be described as a poor one for Mbappe and PSG, as the team was knocked out twice in the early stages of the Champions League. Even if we have to analyse Mbappe's position in the French national team, we have the same thing again. He's been playing mostly on the wing in all those years. And just looking at the 2 World Cups in which France reached the finals, Mbappe started either on the left or the right wing in the side of the 7 games in Russia 2018 and Qatar 2022, a fact you may not have considered. And yes, since a lot of you are probably wondering, but he could still play on the wing. Well, in this scenario, my question would be, who will play striker then? Currently, the only typical number 9 in the team is Joselu, who is playing on loan from Espanyol and probably wouldn't even be bought past this season. Well, with all that being said, we've come to the end of today's video. However, just a quick disclaimer that we are trying to be completely objective with our thoughts, and we're not fans of either Real Madrid or Barcelona. Those were just our views on the potential transfer of Mbappe to the Spanish giant and the consequences of the move. If you liked it, we urge you to give your opinion on the topic down in the comments. Do you think Barca will struggle the next couple of seasons, or will they be able to bounce back and fight for the La Liga and Champions League title with Real Madrid? Now, as always, goodbye and catch you in the next one.